My name is Elena Van Koon, and I'm an international art dealer. I hunt for rare and unique masterpieces. I spend years learning about art. Join me as I reveal some of the greatest industry secrets. I will take you inside of the most exclusive collections as I find, investigate, and share with the world art treasures. I'm Elena Van Koon. I am the art Huntress, and today I am in Miami at Design Miami show. I'm walking around Design Miami today during Art Basel week, and I'm going to show you some incredible design pieces. We're going to find design elements that will make your art really pop. Hello, my name is Elena Van Koon, and I am today looking for incredible, unique furniture that makes art pop. And I saw your display, and I believe that you have something very special here.
Oh, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about your furniture?
Sure. Well, we have this year we have a variety of different things. A couple of in the center of the booth is a very important early suite of furniture that was designed by Paul Frankel for his own apartment. He was probably the most important interior designer in the early 20th century during what we used to refer to as the Art Deco period, or we do now anyway. And he designed these pieces for his own apartment in Manhattan. And they're unique, and they're the only ones, and they're very, very famous and important. Most everything else in the booth is the work of studio furniture makers. So these are handcrafted pieces made individually in a studio by a woodworker and or his assistants. And so we specialize in that, and the things that we have here today that really pop the work of George Nakashima, who's extremely well known now throughout the world, and then John Eric Byers. These black sculpted wooden pieces they really do pop.
I like how you incorporate art with your furniture, and obviously art plays a big part in your display here.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your choice of painting.
I think in particular we select the ones that we're going to show on the basis of their individual quality and their appeal and their beauty. The same thing we do with ceramics. We have a lot of ceramics here, and we are aware of the colors and things like that, but it's not the major focus. The major focus is that individual piece is really striking, beautiful, and accomplished.
What a wonderful set, beautiful displays, and really thank you for sharing your stories about pieces of art you display, and really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So we're here today talking about how furniture helps art pop up, and sometimes furniture is art by itself. So here is a beautiful display of all kinds of very exotic furniture, and as I understand, it made it all the way from Germany.
Yes, correct, from Berlin.
From Berlin.
Our gallery is in Berlin based, and since the name of our gallery is Functional Art Gallery, our aim is to combine design with art. They're all very different artists. They're all unique pieces. Yes.
How many artists do you represent?
It's 11 artists here at the booth, and we have some more at the gallery. Yes.
Very, very intriguing artworks indeed. What about the price range?
I would say between 10 and 30,000 is the price range, but always the
Euros, dollars, rubles,
dollars.
US dollars? Okay. And is it for all the pieces or one?
It depends on the piece. It's not for all the pieces.
That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure. So, tell me a little bit about the most incredible piece in your eyes in your collection today. What is the star in your collection
Well,
you brought today?
As you can see, the center of attention is this piece. It's a collaboration between Théophile Blondet and the artist Donna Huanca. It's all plastic with blue raw pigments, and it's talking about the theme of sustainability and recycling.
Oh, it's talking about also about recycling as well.
Yes, because it's industrial plastic, which is impossible to reuse. So the artist and the designer decided to use this and make furniture out of it.
Now, absolutely. Now, is this functional? Can actually people sit on this chair?
Yes, it is.
So it's not just for display.
No, it's also for use. And you can actually fold it too.
You can fold it?
Yes, I can show you.
Can you show?
Yes, of course.
That is absolutely incredible. That is incredible. Is it something that you fold and you take with you somewhere? Yeah. To your office?
Beach.
To the beach, yes.
Wherever you
yes.
want, yes. It's
Most expensive beach chair, maybe?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably the most
Absolutely.
expensive beach chair, right?
Yes.
How much is this particular piece?
Um,
In dollars.
this is 30,000.
$30,000?
Yes.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And who is the artist again?
Donna Huanca is the artist and Théophile Blondet is the designer. And it's a collaboration between these two.
Collaboration. Do you have another pieces by the same artist?
Yes, we have more pieces also coming up. The collaboration might be, in the future, producing more furniture. Yes, that's possible. Yeah.
That's exciting, very exciting. Thank you very much. And again, the name of your gallery?
Functional Art Gallery in Berlin.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I exhibit here all from Italian artists and not designer in this moment. So I represent with my gallery based in Milan a period of radical movement, 1960s, 1980s. So for this reason I exhibit Mario Ceroli sofa and chair of 1966 and 1972. Mario Ceroli is an amazing Italian artist. You could find artists in Art Basel too. And here I exhibit Mobili della Valle, an inspiration with Giorgio De Chirico painting of 1927. And the sofa is it was made, Mario, for theater with register Pierpaolo Pasolini and Ennio Morricone music. So this is amazing to show here this piece. The history of Italy in this period is an opposite of furniture, and I prefer, my client is all collector and a lot of architect that would you like to do something very not functional or functional but not so easy easy
Not very plain, right?
plain. So I suggest to continue to collect this because it's an amazing period and in international world. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what do you think your pieces will look the best with contemporary art, maybe impressionist art, old school, or
yes, this is Arte Povera, for example, and probably Nanda Vigo. There is like very pop styling here in Miami, so probably in a pop contemporary USA market is perfect. Yeah, and Ettore Sozzas too. So I think it's a good compromise for everything.
Absolutely. So your store right now is in Italy where?
My gallery is based in Milan, in Brera, yes, and I work in the fair, in International World Art Fair in the world, yes, but my best goal is in USA. I love American people, yes.
One day maybe you will open a gallery in the United States?
I'm thinking about it.
Perhaps in Arizona?
This is my dream.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to Arizona anytime.
Okay.
With all this beautiful furniture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
They save. They help. They protect. It's time that we give back. We're giving up to $6,500 to people looking to purchase a home. If you're a nurse, firefighter, EMT, police, military, city, state, or federal employee, teacher, charity volunteer, you qualify for the grant. Go to mycommunityproject.org and apply today.
Yaxiola Law Group.
If you've been charged with a criminal offense or you believe you're being investigated for a criminal offense, give us a call for a free evaluation. If lawyers that you're dealing with are more concerned about your pocketbook and are less concerned about the welfare of you and your family, give us an opportunity to show you the difference. The lawyers at my firm actually give a
Yaxiola Law Group.
Cheryl Malcolm with True Realty, broker and director of our luxury division. I've had the pleasure to work with many distinguished buyers and sellers here in the Phoenix metropolitan area, including the Biltmore, Arcadia, Paradise Valley, and Scottsdale. I'm here to deliver a white glove experience. Please give me a call so I can be your concierge in the home market.
For your personal concierge treatment, call Cheryl Malcolm with True Luxury.
Welcome to Art Fortune. Art Fortune has become the #1 resource for the art community. We provide a wide spectrum of art consulting services, including helping you buy or sell prized art and antiques, and collectible appraisals, conducting estate appraisals and estate sales, providing accurate provenance research. Call Elena Van Coon today at 480-203-2311 and visit our website at artfortune.com.
We are at Art Miami. This is one of the largest art shows during Art Basel in Miami, Florida. And we're going to see some exciting pieces from contemporary masters to emerging artists. And we are going to explore what they have new today in Miami. We have here one of the most exciting displays of artworks. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your artist? Whom did you bring today?
So I specialize in artists who are very established, secondary market artists, in that I'm not bringing them to the market for the first time, they're not primary artists. So they're very well established, they have museum reputations, and they're well known around the world. They have good auction records, and I get a lot of comfort in dealing with artists who are that well established.
That's fantastic. Now, this is one of the largest Thomas Downing pieces I ever seen. Tell me a little bit about this exciting piece.
So Thomas Downing was a painter from Washington in the 60s, and he was a founder member of the Washington Colorfield School, which had Morris Louis in it and other figures who were they were interested in reacting to the abstract expressionists, and they used big solid blocks of colors, introduced geometry. If you think about Ellsworth Kelly, Frank Stella, this is very much the concerns that artists had at that time. And he's been slightly overlooked by the market. He's in many, many American museums, maybe 50 or so American museums, but yet his prices are still relatively affordable. A piece like this, gigantic, is $375,000.
So this piece is only $375,000.
And it's from 1968.
Fantastic.
And a similar piece by Frank Stella would be $10 million.
Now, do you have anything for young collectors?
I do. I have a lot for young collectors. I have, in particular this year, I have two huge works by Keith Haring, which are out of the budget of most people. However, I do have a small print by Keith Haring, which costs $10,000. So you're buying a great work by one of the most significant street artists of the 20th century. Very relevant today. This is what young collectors understand with Banksy and so on. And this is the origins of street art, first generation street art. Good things to have, good thing to start with.
Absolutely. This is a very good artist, as you said, to start the collection. And you have a piece for $10,000.
I do. I think that is possibly our starter price on the booth. We go from $10,000 up to many millions, but we have lots of things also for 15, 20, 25, all by established names. And we think we're quite a good place to start.
That's exciting. Now, this piece for $10,000, is it this size?
It's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller and on paper, but it's very, very beautiful.
I'm sure. Yes, please do.
Sure. So this is Keith Haring's Ludo 5, and it's one of a set of 5 prints that he did in 1985, which is the middle of his career. Haring had a tragically short life. He was only active between 1980 and 1990, dying of AIDS at the age of 30 or 31 or 32 or something. So his works are, in that short period of time, he was quite prolific, but his prints are very treasured now on the market and very collected. And there's always a lot of interest when you bring something. This is sold already, but if young collectors had come on the opening day, they would have had a chance.
I understand. Now, I'm hunting for really reasonable pieces also for my new collectors. So something like this occasionally pop up on the market. So that would be a good piece to start the collection and also perhaps good investment.
Well, I think that established artists are good investments because no matter what happens in other markets that might affect the art market, it's always the artists who've stood the test of time who will actually survive. The young artist, it's fantastic. Somewhere in this fair is a young artist for $2,000 that will be worth $1 million in 20 years. And that always keeps me going when I'm looking around the fair. But it is a lottery, it is a casino. And these young artists, you could buy 20 of them, and after 10 years, some of them could even stop being artists. But he's a part of history, part of art history, and you can't really go wrong with that.
Of course, and one more question. What is your prediction on the price for this particular piece in the next 5-10 years?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think we've got it fairly well priced. I'm generally quite proud of my pricing. I never feel that I have to get the last dollar out of anything. So I think there is, I mean, we're noticing this year in particular, we have maybe more questions about Keith Haring than we do anything else. This piece behind me is a very large scale Keith Haring, which was an original street piece from 1984 that was made for the FDR in New York. It was part of an original frieze. It was about 300 feet long. And
that's spectacular,
absolutely spectacular. And there are photographs of Keith making it at the time. It was really a famous piece. And a piece like this will cost you maybe $2 million. Now, the difference between that and that is relevant and not relevant at the same time. As these pieces go up, which they undoubtedly will, there's a suction effect. And the smaller pieces come up with it. The entry level rises. So for that reason, I'd say that it would have a fairly healthy future.
Yeah, that's exciting, very exciting, because it gives such a different perspective to new collectors who want to also invest in art.
Yeah, well, my rule is if an artist is included in a lot of museum shows, in a lot of very, very good collections, that is something to get a lot of comfort from and something to emulate. Look at other collectors, established collectors, see what they're collecting, try to do the same thing, and you shouldn't go too far wrong.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I see all very famous names. Lynn Chadwick, Botero, Vesarelli. Whom did you bring today besides this artist?
Most of what we have here, it's primary, meaning that we have actually represented those artists either when they were alive or we still do. So like you said, we have Manolo Valdez from Spain, Chadwick, we have Soto from Venezuela, Botero, we have Armand, that is a French-American artist. We have works by Baltasar Lobo. This is another artist from Venezuela, really well known in Venezuela. We're promoting here in the US, Abigail Varela. So all of those artists actually we've represented.
Now, this is obviously not for young collectors. These pieces are in such a price range that would attract established collectors. give me an idea. How much is, for instance, this set, this piece by Chadwick?
We're talking about $450,000.
Now, what about Botero?
Well, Botero, he's really well known, worldwide, and his prices could range between $300,000 to last auction price on a piece by him was $2 million.
What would be your prediction for this artist in the next 5-10 years, as far as price?
Well, that's really hard to tell. That's like having a lottery ticket.
Yes.
But all of the artists
we want the winning one.
everybody does. But the thing is that all the artists that we work with, we actually believe in. That's why we take the time and money and invest in them. And most of the things that we have here, everything we actually own. So everything that I'm offering, I would have it on my house. And I actually own pieces by all of the artists that I work with. If I don't like it for myself, even though probably it sells, I wouldn't work with an artist. So I really do believe in them, and we've been doing really, really well.
This is great philosophy, and the fact that you believe in your artists and promote them is very important. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
I just found some very exciting gallery. This gallery is from Korea, and the art is very intriguing. Can you tell me a little bit about the pieces you brought today?
So for this exhibition, for this Art Miami, we brought 3 different artists: Daniel Kim, Mr. Kwon, Mr. Lee, and also Mr. Kim. And they are all really famous in Korea right now, and I see a lot of people in Miami and from different worlds. They love their art, and they are famous for using their specific technique. For example, Mr. Lee, he has done with the glass art for more than 15 years, and Mr. Kwon, he has done this kind of light reflection art for long years. So they are really famous and professional artists.
Now, do they have any works at various museums in Korea?
Yeah, there are a lot of museums in Korea. For example, Seoul National Museum, and each region have different museums, and their arts are in there. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the price range for these pieces.
So, for example, the minimum price at this exhibition is 5,000. The smallest art for Daniel Kim, and the maximum is 22,000 for Mr. Kwon's art, which is this one. Those 3, yes.
So the average price range would be between $10,000 and $15,000.
Oh yeah, you can say that. Yes.
Okay. So this would be probably a good starting point for young collectors, for new collectors.
Yeah, sure. Because a lot of people say they say compliment for Korean artists, and they see increasing market for Korean artists and Korean arts, and then they would say they would visit Korea to see arts as well.
I can see quite a few very unique pieces here on display, and definitely Korean artists are breaking very strongly into art market, world art market.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this piece right here. This is animation, and how would you describe this the style?
Mr. Park, he is famous for using lenticular technology. So as you can see, the screen, the LED screen, is combined with the 3-dimensional hologram, and also actually the screen is touch screen. So if you touch the rose, then you will see the difference. If you want to try, then you can try.
Maybe you can show me.
Okay. So for example, if I touch the rose here, then it's interactive with the clients, and also here as well.
Well, this is a very exciting piece, and I will say this, This is by far one of my favorite pieces in this art show.
Oh, really?
I have not seen anything like this. It's interactive art. And what is the price range?
So the bigger one is 15,000, and small one 13,000.
So 15 and $13,000.
Yes.
Now, does the screen come with it?
Oh, well, yeah, you can see like goldfish and butterflies, and people really like to see from side because they will see the difference. Like they will see
Dimensional.
Yeah, dimensional, three-dimensional. It's like hologram.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
It comes from one of the oldest techniques of painting. It's actually all made of beeswax, and the process is I use resin, carnauba, propolis, and beeswax, and the color is a powder pigment. I mix that in as one solvent, and I wanted to kind of create this relief to the piece and make it a sculpted painting. Well, one artwork like the pieces that you see on the wall, it could take up to 1 month to 3 weeks. So, you know, I'm literally creating this work as the same way the bees make a hive. And people are not kind of understanding the process of how bees make the hive. So when they regurgitate beeswax out of their abdomen, they have worker bees that go to evergreen trees to get propolis. Propolis is the glue, the stickiness in the tree. They have bees come back and they actually, you know, put that on to the wax. The sun fuses that. So the same process is how they create that hive, because you never see a beehive melting. Why is that though? People need to understand it's from the propolis. So that fuses the hive so it can stay the shapes and the way they create it, and you never see it melting. Same way with my work. I could take my work and put it in the sun is going to fuse it because it's the same materials.
So it's good to be next to the sun.
Exactly. The sun helps us all. And it's interesting, it helps me in my technique of what I do. But more importantly, you know, bees, which I really would like to explain this, is because they sustain life for us. They make 70% of the food that we eat. There's no other insect in the world that does that. So when they pollinate the flowers and do the things that they do with that, that creates the food source that we get in order to stay alive. So if the bees weren't here, we won't be able to live on the planet.
If clients are looking for something very original, very unique, you're the guy.
I'm the guy. You can reach me at Bakara Arts or LaronWilson.com or Sculpt Wax on IG.
Thank you. And what is the price range?
I'm at well, these two pieces, one is 15,000 and the smaller one is 3,500.
Okay. And larger pieces, you do larger?
I do largest commission work, and they can vary in different sizes and different colors. I can make any piece any color because of the pigment that I use.
So you do commission work?
I do commission work. Yes, I do.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you very much.